Greetings, MOGOLites. We're back. And if you see it, we're back with another celebrity. Yay! We're here with the man himself, Aibo Academy. Yay! Give applause. We love it.
Delighted to be back.
Saeed, oh, good friend. So today we're doing our first in our new series called The State of. And today we're going to talk about the state of one of the newer card games to hit the nation. We're talking about the opening of the gates themselves, Gate Ruler. Now, if you were with us before, you know we're here with Gate Ruler's #1 Western Yugi tuber, because one is the loneliest number that you'll ever But we're going to talk about that. But we're here with Aibo Academy. So yeah, we love him. Now, you love him. You see him. You've joined his hopefully you'll join his Discord server. We'll put the link in the description because I joined it. And let me tell you, I've learned more about a lot, but we're going to talk about that too. So first things first, state of Gate Ruler. Is the game Gate Ruler in a good place?
That's an interesting question. Okay, so I think so for context, basically, Gate Ruler launched really, really well. The first set sales, the pre-orders were really strong. Set 2 completely sold out, and it would have sold more, but there was a reduced capacity of production due to COVID. And this was essentially when the shit started hitting the fan. Where I'll give you the Cliff Notes version, but essentially the public face of the game, the developer Ikeda, has this group of haters who just hate bomb literally everything he does, that were making it very difficult to have any sort of online discussion about the game without them showing up and basically ruining it, in Japanese anyway. It was less of an issue in English, though some of them still took to the English things. So that was an issue where you had them. Then also Ikeda just did some stupid things. He got sued by Bushiroad. He said something about Japanese part-time workers. I think that wasn't particularly politically correct or something. I don't know the specifics of that, but he made a few fuck-ups, but not a massive deal. We can move past that. The big problem was the set 2 meta was doo-doo, absolute dog shit, horrendous, awful, not fun at all. Because there was a tier 0 deck and it was an apprentice deck, which everyone was already sick of from set 1. It was just and so you had that. And then to compound that, one of the promises that Ikeda had said was, well, the whole point of this ruler system is that we can change things if there's a problem. So everyone was just sitting there okay, there's a problem. We have established the problem. It's been 2 weeks, it's been 3 weeks. All the mini GPs are just this deck. Can we get a little bit of help here? And radio silence. And then a month goes by and there's nothing. And then another month goes by and then there's nothing. And then it's properly getting toxic at this point. People are just going what the hell is going on? And I can't remember exactly what happened, but they announced that set 3 was going to be delayed. This is what happened. So they announced set 3 was going to get delayed, and then shortly after this, Ikeda basically got kicked out of the development of the game. Interestingly, the moment Ikeda got kicked out, Bushiroad dropped their lawsuit. So, conspiracy, think of that lawsuit what you will. Clearly, it served its purpose.
Yes.
So that happened. Set 3 was made in Japan by 3 months. So essentially they had to wait 6 months in between set 2 and set 3, which is a long time to ask anyone to wait for anything. And then obviously in the West, we actually didn't have to wait. We got it as usual back in October. And then, after Ikeda got kicked out, then there was a new development team that took over, and that was pretty good. There was this new PR thing, and it was all going nice and well. And then Ikeda bought out all the shares of the company and took back over in the movie that doesn't seem to end. And so then he took back over, and then so then that development team quit because he took back over, and then they released Ikeda released a public statement basically saying that, well, if I didn't buy them out, they were going to can the game after set 4, which frankly, I believe, as a Japanese-based company, I can see them just going, the sales in Japan are like, we're not going to be able to recover this. We're just going to like drop it and take our profits and leave. So I can buy that. But apparently, he also said some things in the article that were not true. So then the developers are suing him for defamation. So there's that too. So where are we now? Well, set 4 is happening. It's going to be coming out in March. Set 5 is confirmed to happen, and I've made videos discussing the sort of my more long form opinions on this. But to cut a long story short, in Japan, the game is basically force of will status. Like it has a player base. That player base it's there. It exists. There is limited hope for the game to get much bigger in Japan for a while. However, optimistically, we found out that the sales in English have actually been quite good, which might be surprising considering the size of like Facebook groups and the general lack of content creators. But you know, it turns out they're actually still pretty good. We don't have specifics, but we were told that like it's enough to keep the development going. So, and it's not like English sales have dropped off at all since set 1. Like if anything, they've grown. So basically, the point of me saying this is the game looks like it's going to continue indefinitely because Ikeda's here for the long run. But it does look like we are in for a period of limited growth, shall we say, to be the polite way of saying it. The TLDR version is launch was a shit show. There have been a huge number of problems, a large amount of drama. However, fundamentally, the game is very fun. So people are still playing, and thankfully enough people are still playing that the game doesn't look like it's going to get canned anytime soon. That's the TLDR. Sorry to drone on for quite so long.
That was concise. I'm because it's a long form doctoral thesis. 6 minutes. I'm proud of us to make a YouTube short of that. But I you know, that's question 1, because you're saying like we have a process of limited growth. But it looks to me as just a spectator, because I play a game. I'm a casual. I'm one of them filthy casuals. Like I'm so filthy casual that I have a dish. And if you talk to the locals of Chicago who play Gabriel, they're like, "Oh, you mean the pink red guy?" I was like, "Yeah, I religiously play pink red, only so I can play 4 Taratari Onis and the demon in every deck." Like, and everyone's like, in every deck, oh, I have an Overlord deck and all 5 of those things in now. Like make no mistakes, like, but you'd have to pay to use the Oni. I was like, I have not heard you say a problem yet. Like, I run 4 hauntings and
basic shit.
Yeah, in every deck. I don't know how you all don't understand what I'm doing. Now, I will admit, in the Overlord deck, I misread how certain things work, but I was like, oh, but never mind. I'm committed to the bit.
That's still good.
Yeah. So I get W's, don't get it twisted. But I know, like, for competitive game people, they need a field of battle to be competitive on, and we have just never had a thing, right? Like I think they've allowed shop tournaments, but there's no collaboration. Like Bushiroad did the BRO, which I have opinions about. Yu-Gi-Oh is putting out.
Yu-Gi-Oh is actually doing bits, like in fairness to them with the online thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think like that is basically what everyone is thinking who plays Gate Ruler. So here's basically my position as someone in full-time education is I don't like it's a game that for me is perfect if you are someone who has like life, basically, like you're going about like life, and maybe once every week or 2 weeks you can get down to locals and you can jam the game for a day and you have a great time. And right now it is really like the perfect game for that, because you're getting a set on average every 3 months. It's insanely cheap. Like I think like that does like it's really difficult to like overstate like just how cheap Gate Ruler is. Like I have a complete playset of every single card and I've spent like, and I've bought it all through product, like not even singles, right? Like if I bought it through singles, it would have been even cheaper. I think in singles, like a full set would have cost you about $750, $800, which I mean is unheard of, right? So there's that, and the fact that like you can build so many decks from that collection, and we don't get sets super often, so the meta isn't massively changing constantly. You don't have to constantly buy new cards. So that's the advantage of like the relatively casual feel, right? The disadvantage is absolutely hyper competitive players are not being served at all, and there are, to an extent, I think there are, you can make certain allowances. There were plans in Japan for a massive tournament. I think it was like a $50,000 prize pool, like it was a big prize pool tournament. However, yes, I understand like COVID stopped that, but it still hasn't happened. And as much as it's fine to point to Japan and go, well, they're planning on doing something there. Clearly, as the market now that is supporting the development of the game, English should probably get some preferred treatment. And there is fuck all, right? Like we have shop tournaments, and yeah, the promos are great, but like there's no Grand Prix or anything. And the same company like does Force of Will, and they've been doing Force of Will stuff online, so we know they have the infrastructure to do it. It's not like they can't do it. So I mean, it's really frustrating. And there isn't really a defense, in my opinion. I think like if you are looking for a competitive game, and you are looking to like sweat out a tournament scene, don't bother. Like you're just going to get pissed off if you play Gate Ruler, if that's what you're looking for. If you're looking for a game that's really fun and you just want to jam with your friends, and it's like a really cheap side game as well, if you just want to have a few decks built for it, I think Gate Ruler is like the ultimate game for that, because like I like the best deck in the game right now is like $60. It's like 50 or $60. Like that's it. And it's like half set 1, half set 3 cards with a few set 2 cards. Like it's really like yeah, basically competitive game shit. Casually, I'm having it. Well, the game organization wise is shit, I should say. And I suppose I think we are going to be talking about this more later. But we have organized this sort of informal prize support pending. Maybe we're going to see what happens with that. But informal tournament, basically like a world circuit where like there's teams for each country that are going to be playing against each other. So we're doing our own little competitive thing that way. And if you do join my Discord server, you can find people to play games, and you can also join this like remote fight Discord server, which you can also find who like Khalil set up. Or well, Khalil got people to set up. He can't. He needs technological help. But yeah, I think there's places to play basically. But yeah, it's a shit show.
Which I guess leads to our second point is like the big events from Gate Ruler have been from fans, like they're fan organized events like this. Like as he said, y'all, we're having a Beyblade World Turkey Tour, but with Gate Ruler.
Yeah.
But like the teams across we're having a Gate Ruler Olympics all of a sudden, but with our own Aibo comment.
Hopefully, I was meant to commentate the one from last weekend, but my computer broke like the day before. I had to send it off for repairs, so I literally couldn't. But videos on that will be uploaded.
And they couldn't call me. I'm offended. I have views. We have channels. We have subscribers. It's okay. Reach out to me. Focus on me. We're gonna be. Well, they're gonna copyright because I hit the notes. But I think my question is like all these events, and then there was the
1K,
half a K. What? Okay, but the 1K event. There's this world circuit. It just seems as if everyone's trying to help someone that's not helping them, and that just sounds like an abusive relationship to me. Yeah, I'm trying to, and what I'm wrapping my head around is like English is the number one provider, which is weird for a Japanese game. English is number one provider. There's literally one, and I mean one Western Gate Ruler content creator, and I'm talking to him.
Well, I don't think I'm the only one. But I think I'm the only one who who primarily makes Gate Ruler videos. I'm pretty sure. I have I think there are other I've seen other Gate Ruler videos being uploaded.
In English?
Yeah, so Rust Marrow, for example, but he makes videos on everything. He literally makes videos on literally every single trading card game. So it's sort of unsurprising that he would also, but as much as he loves the game, he makes them on Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh, everything besides Pokemon, I feel like.
Mhm.
So I think but I don't think it is at all an exaggeration to say that I'm basically 90% of the Gate Ruler video library on the internet is probably me. And there's a few Japanese channels as well. There's a couple of really good Japanese channels who do match videos and stuff, but yeah, by and large, it is basically me.
But you see other gaming companies, you see Yu-Gi-Oh toss their content creators some bones, some schmeckles. You see Bushiroad drags the same Bushiroad drags the same 2 people, and then mysteriously 18 more show up that I've never heard
of. So the thing is, I think with it is really annoying, I think, because on the one hand, it's difficult to sort of I basically, as a player who was quite invested in this game being success from launch, because I was so heavily invested in Buddy Fight, I really liked that game, and I played that game hyper competitively, and it burned me out on Bushiroad. So I was basically the ideal target market to see this game, and indeed as were a huge number of players who picked it up at launch, to basically see this game and go, this is perfect. It's a fuck you to Bushiroad. It's very reminiscent, very inspired by that game I really enjoyed. And it looks like it's going to be doing really well because again, the set 1 sales were insane. So I think that, makes it a bit it makes me overly sympathetic and less likely to just be 100% negative all the time. But that being said, as many allowances as you can make, the English side is taking the piss. At least the Japanese side, I can understand them not sponsoring or sending things out, sure, but at least Japanese side, right, communicates with the fan base, they post updates and things, right, as much as drama as there might be, they post lore reveals and stuff, right, I don't think it's much of an ask for the English page to literally mirror the Japanese page, if nothing else, right, just whatever they post in Japanese, just literally Google Translate, paste, right, and it's that sort of stuff is really, really frustrating because it's things like that, when you just don't see the official page. The official page makes 1 post a month, and then the month before a set releases, they start doing card reveals, right? And you're just there okay, I mean, this is not enough. People are just going to think this is a dead game until the month where you actually start showing things and people go, oh shit, there's a set releasing, but the pre-order window already closed because you started posting again a month before the set, so your sales are already in, right? It's just really frustrating. And yeah, I just think they need to get their shit together, because I don't know how much longer. As much as I'm enjoying the game, and I know that my local player base enjoys the game enough that we'll just play it. It's relatively cheap for us. We have fun. We meet up once every week or 2 weeks. We jam it for a whole weekend, and we have a good time. But is that enough? And what happens if you drop 1 or 2 sets that piss off enough locals that is enough, that those sales not coming for the set after mean you don't have enough money to produce the next set, right? They need to do more to actually promote the game, because set 3 is really fun. If people try set 3, as indeed, I tripled the size of my locals this week, basically, or double the size of my locals this week, basically, because I just got people to try it. And set 3, and they're like, holy shit, this is super fun. And I was like, yeah. And set 4 looks even more fun. So yeah, they just need to do something. Yeah. And they just need to get some money and just, run some Facebook ads. It's not expensive. I can do it.
I remember I was talking to people here and I said, no, I remember I was gonna go to the Mac because someone said the festival collection for Vanguard is like one of the most impactful sets of card games. And I was like, I'd argue set 3 for Gate Ruler is the most impactful set for a card game I've ever seen, because I don't know what you snorted and what you inject into your veins that let you create all of that. I was like, that everything.
Crazy set.
Yeah, I was like, everything came out and was redefined in set 3. Like everything that wasn't like, people that weren't people became people. And then new people were still people. I was like, no,
Yeah.
I was like, this is. I remember looking at set 3. I was like, no, set 3 and Gabriel, I'm actually overstimulated. Like, I actually don't know what to do. If I wasn't so lovingly, religiously locked into 2 colors, we would have had a real problem. So I'm like,
Although, I don't know if you've seen the set 4. They tease like some of the excavator artwork for set 4. Shit's looking hella clean. And I think like the thing is like that another thing that I think like Ikeda has done very well is like somehow like it's not even Stockholm syndrome or anything. Like I'm looking at set 4 and like set 4 was, I think, by the time it releases, will probably meant to have been released about like 6 months like ago. Like by the time it actually releases, it will have meant to have been out 6 months ago. But it is just still, I am so excited for that set because there's just so much cool shit in there. Like
they introduced a lot of new things. I do think
yeah.
they've done like set 4 looks wacky and zany, and I you know, I have my own reservations about the game. When I learned it and I learned the play style, it's like, ooh, this I think I was like, you know, drive based decks team. I was like, no, as we get progressive, like drive based decks are so overpowered. I was like,
Yeah, not anymore.
I was like, no, now we are, but we die in the future. Like, as long as everything gets equal support, you will never beat having a hand. Like, and
yeah,
it said 3. I was like, ooh, I think this is the last holdout I think I can make as a drive based deck. And then I was like, set 4. They introduced, +2 plus. I was like, nope, and that's where drive based decks die. I'll put.
I mean, you can play Berserker. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's about it, isn't it? That's all you can possibly try. You can hope Berserker gets you through. And that's only because they added, they decided to.
Yeah, because that was the other thing. They buffed a load of the rulers. And I think like it's really sad because from the behind the scenes things I've managed to hear, it just seems like Ikeda was just being really stubborn. And it turns out that he had like some mental health issues at the time. He posted like about it on Twitter. So obviously understandable. The man was basically being harassed like nonstop. So you can understand it. I mean, I would argue maybe if you're being harassed that much, take a little step back, start to relinquish a bit of control and remove yourself from the situation as best as you can instead of throwing yourself into it. But regardless, like these are things that he could have done way earlier. Like when set 2 was out for 3 weeks and everyone was saying, can you please nerf Apprentice? Can you please do something? And he just went like, nah, like maybe, like there are things that could have been done to like have put Gateway in a much better state than it is now, sales wise. I think that's the thing. Like sales wise, it's probably in the worst state it's been. But thankfully it's still alive. But gameplay wise, it's in the best state it's been. It's like super fun.
It is a thing. So the last thing is you've said it. You said it a lot, which I love that we got this one last. Is that we're talking? You said it's very, very cheap. Now I'm like, if it's very, very cheap to sell, is it profitable? What's up with being words? Profitable for stores to carry?
Yeah. So this is the thing where like TLDR, yes, I think it is. But it's like a weird one. So the pull rates in this game are like kind of ridiculous. So from a store selling sealed product perspective, I think it's a no-brainer. Because if you establish if there is like even 2 local players, like they're probably going to want to buy like 3 to 4 boxes each per set. So like you will have some sales that way. So for those of you who perhaps don't know, on average, in a box of Gate Ruler, you're getting at least one copy of each 4-star, and then you'll get like 2 of a couple. So like it is entirely possible. Like, so it maths out to be 3.2 boxes required for a full playset of everything. We're excluding SRs because that was a set 3 mistake that the new design team put in and Ikeda has removed because fuck those. But like, yeah, so from a player perspective, obviously buying your product, it's a no-brainer. So therefore, from a store perspective, you know, whatever price you're getting the boxes at, basically, like it's just going to be unlike other card games, right? Because most card games, players actually don't buy that much sealed product. Like the smart way is to just buy singles because that's almost always going to be cheaper unless you want to build a shit ton of decks. So actually, weirdly, like the difficulty more becomes like if you're a store and you want to sell singles, that can be more challenging. It depends, but that's more because there's like less stores selling singles. I think there's like actually a lot of stores just selling steel product. Like I didn't realize this, but in the UK, there's like 15 stores or 20 stores that are selling sealed product, like unregistered, selling sealed product, like as locals, which is more than I thought. I thought it was like, you know, 5. So like there are stores doing it. And I will say as well, like it's double the price here in the UK. And I still think this game is cheap. Right? Like we pay $200 a box. You guys pay $100 a box. So the game is free in America. Like actually free.
Right, but like the fact that there's no singles market, that's not like a thing at all. That's not a sign up, down. That's not.
Well, it's not that there's no singles market. There definitely is. It's just it's a really weird singles market because the pull, like, so with most card games, like you don't buy a box and get one of everything, right? Like you buy a box and you'll get potentially most things or, you know, some things. So there's like always that element of supply and demand where, you know, people are going to want some things, they're not going to have them if they buy the sealed product, or they're just going to want to go out and buy the singles, and people who, you know, buy a box so they can get something, they're going to end up with these spares. Whereas with Gate Ruler, because the pull rates are so good, what actually ends up being is the singles market is really the vanity rarity market. So it is the foil versions of low rarity cards. It's the special foil versions of 3 stars and 4 stars, and it's uber rares and it's secrets. That's actually what the market seems to be, because most players like are very happy to just buy, you know, 2 boxes, for example, and then grab whatever singles they need. Otherwise, online through any of the stores who do exist, or on the Facebook group. And they'll like be able to grab that all very, very easily, or they'll like split a box with like a mate to just like get it all for themselves. I think like I would say like there is potentially like there is like if the game like starts popping off, there will be really strong demand for singles availability by nature of the way the game works. Because a new ruler can come in and suddenly make like really old cards viable, there's always going to be like so you can't see it, but I have like a full like collection basically of all like 4+ of every single card in the game, because I want to have that, because I know that there might be a ruler that comes out like in 2 years that breaks like a load of set 2 cards, and those might like spike. So I think like it's one of those weird situations where it's like self-fulfilling, where okay, like if we want to open products, sell singles to players, but there's not many players to sell to because they're buying sealed product, but there's not many players to sell to because there's not many players to buy, there's not many stores to buy singles from. So it's this weird sort of cycle. And I just feel like the only way out of it is just like an explosion of demand, whereby like set 4 drops and like people see it and they go like, oh shit, that looks really cool, I want to try that. And then you just get people opening like stores, like a couple stores willing to take the risk and just going, okay, well, if we lose this, we lose $400. Oh no. Whereas, you know, if we make this, you know, we make a couple hundred, that's not bad. Maybe we can keep doing it. I definitely think like the US stores though are like at a massive advantage for selling singles. Like you guys literally get it at half the price. So like if you want to make money, if you want some arbitrage, sell to Europe. Sell your cheap singles to Europe.
Okay. Well, you love to see it. I think so it looks like maybe my fears are a little misplaced, up down.
There's valid concerns. I think they are valid concerns.
But we're talking about the state of Gate Ruler as a whole. It's interesting because I definitely don't think I've ever seen a fan base do something else for anything remotely struggling. Like Duel Masters and Kaijudo in America never had someone put together a world Beyblade circuit for them. So I was like, oh,
Yeah.
then it's just interesting to me. I'm just like, that's a lot of drama for a Japanese game.
It is. One thing I did forget to mention, though, that is fairly big, is the game is launching in China this year. So, I mean, like, that is a very, like, I mean, look, if the game pops off in China, like, I would expect some serious money to start being pumped into it. So we'll see, like, we'll see where that goes. It was interesting to me that the original pitch was Japan, English, Chinese simultaneous launch, and that didn't happen purely because of COVID. But yeah, I think if I had to put a number on it, I would probably say Gabriel's in like a 5.5 situation right now. Like, it's more good than bad, certainly, but there are absolutely very valid concerns. And I think if you want to play, just play for fun, bro. Like, if you actually want to play the game for fun, you're gonna have a great time.
Look at that. This is why he's the #1 Gate Ruler content creator on
That's the reason.
yeah, that the smile. It's okay. I'm gonna stop. Not really, but no, it's great. See, this is why we love having Aibo. But look, that's the state of Gate Ruler, you all. So go out, open the gates, play. We'll be looking for it. So is your World Cup live stream? What's how will people?
So if you follow me on Twitter at Academy Aibo, I will be posting there, or if you join my Discord server, like, you'll get updates for it there. Essentially, we've posted the bracket already, and the teams are just organizing when those matchups are going to be, and we're going to try and organize like streams or uploads of games. Because there's like big like logistical difficulties with, obviously, like Japan playing America is going to be like, a 15-hour time difference potentially. So those are things that need to be worked around. We're going to do our best to try and like show as much of it as possible, but definitely one thing we really want to do is stream the final 3 rounds. So the semi-finals on the winners bracket, the finals on the losers bracket, and then the overall finals between the winner of the winners bracket and the winner of the losers bracket. And so you should like definitely expect those, and those will probably be like within like that'll start like within a month, but the rounds are beginning now essentially. There's I think the first rounds are looking to be scheduled for next weekend as of the time of this recording, so it's like the first weekend of Feb when we're looking at it. So basically follow me for updates. This happened fully accidentally. It was meant to just be like Spain versus Russia, and I was like, oh hey, let's get the UK involved, and then America were like, hey, we want to play, and then Canada were like, hey, we want to play, and I was like, hey, let's get the Japanese involved. The Japanese were like, hey, yeah, we want to play, and then suddenly there was 6 countries, and we were like, oh shit, this is a thing.
I love it. I love you love to see it. Let's join in, root for your countrymen, and open these gates. I like I said, very motivated to see fans get together and do something for a card game. And as always, thank you, MOGOLites. Like, comment, subscribe, give another round of applause to Aibo Academy.
Look at them. You better hit the bell.
Yes, because hit that notification bell to know that we're doing. Go make sure you go follow him. We'll put his link to his channel and his Discord server where you can learn about all the games. And maybe next time we'll see each other on the state of Shadow versus Evolve or something.
Yeah, the state of Master Duel.
The state of Master. Okay.
Maxi?
I said abusive relationship before. That is your toxic ex right there. I was like, ooh, bro, coming into your life. Anyway, thank you for joining us, friends, and thank you
very much for having me.
No, thank you. But we hope to see you again, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we